Hi, this is Rachel with Blessed Beyond Measure, and today I'm very excited to share with you that we're going to make homemade Southern buttermilk biscuits with a sausage and bacon gravy. So let's go over a little bit of ingredients. We're going to use a pound of pork sausage with some bacon pieces, have a 1/4 cup of chopped onion, 5 tablespoons of flour, 4 cups of whole milk, and we're going to use some seasonal, and I like to use a little bit of pepper to go along with that also. But what I'm very excited to share with you is the white lily flour. This is not the white wing that we normally see in the store, but this is white lily. And this flour is normally found mostly on the East Coast. I have ordered it online off of Amazon, but I did find this at my local H-E-B store. They are carrying it. So Miss Brenda Gant is also a YouTube lady that I like to watch, and she swears by this white lily flour that it makes the best, most tender and soft biscuit. And I have made this several times since watching her video, and I'm here to tell you she's right. This is the most flaky, soft, tender biscuit that I've ever had, so I'm excited to share this recipe with you. We're also going to use some buttermilk, and this is the whole fat. We're going to use a pinch of baking soda and a little bit of vegetable shortening. So let me go ahead and clear my work area from the sausage gravy, and then we'll go ahead and get set up to do the biscuits. Okay, so I've got my area cleaned up. I have my oven set at 500 degrees. You heard me right, 500. When you cook these biscuits at a higher temperature and you cook them for a shorter amount of time, it's going to make them rise faster, and they're going to be a lot more lighter, airier, and fluffier. So that's preheating right now. And what I like to do, because eventually we're gonna start this off in our bowl, and then we're gonna turn it out here onto the counter. I like to clean the countertop with a little bit of distilled vinegar. That way it's food grade, and it's not like you're trying to clean your countertop with any kind of chemical. You don't want any of that to leach into your food. All right. So first thing we're gonna do, I like to store my white lily in this big container here. So we're gonna start off with 2 cups of flour. And I'm going to fill it up with my spoon. All right. And I'm going to put 1/4 cup of the shortening. And this is a blending fork. You can use a pastry cutter, but I find that I've seen another YouTube lady using this, and once I used it, it's a lot easier than trying to use one of those blending pastry forks. And basically you just want to push it up against the sides to try to cut that shortening in, and you just want to do it until the shortening is like little pea size. You don't want to overdo it, but just until you see it's pea size. Then you'll know it's evenly distributed throughout the whole thing. This will take just a minute. And since we're using buttermilk in this recipe, we're going to put just a pinch of baking soda, because buttermilk is very acidic, so this baking soda is going to help kind of alkaline that. You can actually use baking soda in a lot of your like red sauces. If you're making tomato sauce, pasta sauce, something like that, if you sprinkle about 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda once you have your sauce made, it's going to bubble up, and then it's going to settle down, and it's basically just alkalining your dish, and that's going to help with heartburn. We suffer with that in our family, so that's something that I usually do, and it doesn't change the taste of the flavor of your food at all. All right, so you can see it's pea size, so this is perfect. So I have a cup of buttermilk, and I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. And then I'm going to work it in, but let me go ahead and add that pinch of baking soda first. I would say like not even 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a little bit. All right, so let's add a little bit of our buttermilk. And you're looking for a consistency for it to be combined, but not to be wet, but not really wet. A little bit more. Okay, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's wet, but it's not saturated. So we're going to put a little flour on our workspace, and we're going to knead this a little bit. You're just going to fold it. Just keep kneading and folding it. And when you fold it over like this, it's just adding more layers, so it's going to make a really soft biscuit. Okay, that's really all there is to it. You don't have to work the dough too much. And I'll take a little bit of this vegetable shortening and coat my pan really well, because we don't want them to stick. Let me grab my biscuit cutter. Okay, and when you cut these biscuits, it's best if you don't push it down and turn it, because that'll try to seal the edges of your biscuit. So it's best to just push down and pick right back up. And if you like a soft biscuit, you can put the biscuits in your pan touching each other. If you like it to be more crunchy on the outside, then you can leave a little bit of a gap in between. This is really, really easy, and it is worth the effort versus the ones you get in a can. All right. Just mix this up again. Roll out some more. Okay, so I got 10 full-size biscuits and this little tiny one, but we're going to pop this in here too, because we're not going to let any of it go to waste. So we have the oven preheated to 500 degrees. That means we're going to cook it at a really high temperature for a short amount of time. So we're going to do about 10 to 12 minutes. I'll just keep an eye on it and make sure we don't burn them. And then I'll meet you right back. Okay, so the biscuits are done and they cooked in my oven for 12 minutes. And let me show you what they look like. I did brush them with a little bit of melted butter when they came out, and I think that's just going to help them taste a little bit better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start on our bacon sausage gravy. So first thing I'm going to go in with is the bacon. We're going to get that pretty much cooked, not all the way, and then we're going to add our sausage. Okay, so I have the bacon almost done, and now is a good time to go ahead and put the sausage in. And we'll get this completely cooked before we add our onions. I think the hardest part's getting it out of the package. We're almost there. It'll probably take just a few more minutes. And what we're going to do is we're not going to add any oil to this. We're going to use the grease that comes from the bacon and also from the sausage. And you know, bacon grease makes everything better, so that's one of the reasons why I really like adding the bacon. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add my onion. And we'll render that down just a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and start adding our flour. Whew. Bacon and onion smell so good. Okay, the onion's all rendered down, so now's a good time to start adding the flour. And I don't like to add the flour all at one time. I like to add a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon or two at a time, and kind of toast it in. I feel like it kind of helps deepen that toasty flavor. Starting to soak up all the oils in the bottom of the pan. Okay, we'll add a little bit more. Smells so good. Okay, that looks good. So I think we'll go ahead and start adding some milk. And this is going to take just a few minutes for the gravy to thicken. And I'm taking my wooden spoon and I'm just kind of scraping those bits off the bottom from the flour, because that's a lot of flavor. I did reserve just a splash of milk. That way if the gravy starts to get too thick too fast, then you can add a little bit of milk to thin it out. Just thicken it to however you prefer it. I'm going to go ahead and add my seasonal. You can start off with about half a teaspoon and just season it to taste. And I'm going to add some black pepper, maybe about a teaspoon of black pepper, because we really like the black pepper in ours. But again, just do it to your taste preference. Okay, the gravy is all thick. Looks amazing, so let's give it a taste. I'm gonna go right in the center here because I like the center biscuit. I do like, y'all know I like crunchy, but I do like my biscuit to be soft and tender. Wow. I don't know if you can see that, how fluffy that is in the middle. Looks so good. Put a little gravy on. And of course you can have biscuits and put jelly on it, butter, honey, any which way you like it. But this is going to be dinner tonight. I can't wait for you to try this. It's very, very good. Very soft, delicate biscuit, just like I like it. I hope you'll like it too. If you like this video, I ask that you give me a thumbs up and you hit that bell notification so you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. And please hit that subscribe button. And until next time, see you later.